Guys, how have you been? How have you been? Okay, I'll see if I can help that. First timers, welcome. It's One Take Tom. Returners, welcome. It's One Take Tom. Let's get to it. Today we're going to be reacting to Eminem, his 10th track on the Slim Shady LP album. Just don't give a fuck. I mean, we already know this is a fan favourite. We already know this is a massive track. So let's not waste any time and let's jump straight in.
Whoa! I get your hands in the air and get the clapping them and like back and forth because this is what you thought it wasn't. It means the brothers representing the 30 dozen. I be the FRO, the double G. And check out my man, he goes by the name of Thunder.
Slim Shady, brain dead like Jim Brady. I'm an M80, you little like that Kim lady. I'm buzzing, dirty dozen, naughty rotten rhymer. Cursing that you play is worse than Marty Schottenheimer. You whacking in the motherfucker you bitch your style from. You ain't gonna sell 2 copies if you press a double album.
Come on, man. We're starting straight away with this, alright? We're not messing about. We're jumping straight in. You know he's coming in hard with the accent, the sarcasm, the messing about with it. So we know we're going to expect some crazy lyrics, some very controversial lyrics, and a bit of crazy shady in there as well. So we know we're going to enjoy this one. You can already hear it in the voice, the sarcasm, the craziness. So let's expect a lot of fun and complicated rhymes. Even the voice at the start, you can tell he's just taking the mick, right? Slim Shady, brain dead like Jim Brady. I'm an M80, you little like that Kim lady. You see he's just messing about instantly. So we already know not to take it too seriously. He's going to be a bit wacky, he's going to be a bit crazy, but listen out to the lyrics. They're going to be good. He's probably going to slate a few people along the way as well. I love that line. I'm buzzing, dirty dozen, naughty, rotten rhymer. Cursing at you play is worse than Marty Schottenheimer. Rotten rhymer, Schottenheimer. Come on, man. You know with these crazy rhymes, he loves to throw in some complex, different syllables, different sounds in there. But let's keep going with it. You know he's going to have some crazy lyrics in here. Come on, man.
Jim Brady, I'm an M80, you little like that Kim lady. I'm buzzing, dirty dozen, naughty rotten rhymer. Cursing that you play is worse than Marty Schottenheimer. You whacking in the motherfucker you bitch your style from. You ain't gonna sell 2 copies if you press a double album. Admit it, fuck it, while we coming out in the open. I'm doing acid, crack, smack, coke, and smoking dope then. My name is Marshall Mathers, I'm an alcoholic. I have a disease and they don't know what to call it. Better hide your wallet, cause I'm coming up quick to strip your cash. Bought a ticket to your concert just to come and whip your ass. Bitch, I'm coming.
Come on, man. There's already so many different layers to this. You can already hear it. He starts slow, then he starts to build, and he starts to build. Then he gets all crazy with it. Then he calms down a bit, gets a bit sarcastic. Keeps name dropping again. Jim Brady, Marty Schottenheimer. No one is safe. If your name's got a cool rhyme to it, you're probably making it into the track. Listen, you ain't gonna sell 2 copies if you press a double album. Jesus. I know in some of his other songs he starts mentioning things like this before, just absolutely slating people. What was it? I think it was something like, you sold 10 million copies but you made 10 million albums or something like that, right, isn't it? He'll throw in a few crazy lines and then he'll absolutely slate you with some really clever pun words or some nice play on words. And you know he's going to be saying a lot in this. Just check the title of the song. Admit it, fuck it, we coming out in the open. I'm doing acid, crack, smack, and coke, and smoking dope then. So he messes about, rhymes with it, and then changes the flow completely. Doing acid, crack, smack, coke, and smoking dope then. My name is Marshall Mathers, I'm an alcoholic. Hi Marshall. I have a disease and they don't know what to call it. You see how he just messes about, hits you with some crazy lyrics, and then changes the flow. Calms it down a little bit, slows it down a little bit. Gets more aggressive, speeds it up, calms it down a bit, builds it up. This is such a hype song. I know from the title it's a bit of a giveaway, but this is such a hype song. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling bad, if you've got an injury, if you're not happy with the world, put on this track. Don't give a fuck. So good. I know we may miss a few in this, but try listen out for yourself. There are a lot of lyrics in here, a lot of crazy, clever wordplay and different puns, different play on words. So listen out. I might miss a few, so help me out if I do. But let's keep going.
Smack coke and smoking dope then. My name is Marshall Mathers, I'm an alcoholic. I have a disease and they don't know what to call it. Better hide your wallet, cause I'm coming up quick to strip your cash. Bought a ticket to your concert just to come and whip your ass. Bitch, I'm coming out swinging so fast that'll make your eyes spin. You getting knocked the fuck out like Mike Tyson. The proof is in the pudding, this that's the Sean Holman. I'll slit your motherfucking throat worse than Ron Goldman. So when you see me on your block with 2 blocks screaming fuck the world like Tupac, give a fuck. Talking that shit behind my back, dirty Mac and telling your boys that I'm on crack. I just don't give a fuck. So put my tape back on the rack. Go run and tell your friends my shit is whack. I just don't give a fuck. But see me on the street and duck, cause you gon' get stuck, stoned and snuck. Cause I just don't give a fuck. I'm nice and
Man, what a good chorus that is. You see how some of his past ones before he didn't necessarily put as much effort into the chorus, or it was just repeating the same lyric over and over again. This is a very clear message. Do what you want. Come at me with what you want. Say what you want. Talk that shit behind my back. Tell your boys that I'm on crack. I just don't give a fuck. So good. Honestly, this is what some people need. Just that I don't care song. Just that I don't give up song. You know what I mean? Turn your back. Stand up to the bullies. Stand up to the people you don't like. Stand up to people in life that you don't like. Help yourself to care a little bit less about what everyone else thinks. You didn't have to go to the extremes that Shady's doing it, but the message is still there. Just don't give a fuck. So when you see me on your block with 2 Glocks, screaming fuck the world like Tupac, I just don't give a fuck. Talking that shit behind my back, dirty macking, telling your boys that I'm on crack, I just don't give a fuck. So put my tape on your rack, go tell your boys that my shit is whack. I just don't give a fuck. But see me on the street and duck, cause you're gonna get stuck, stoned and snuffed. I just don't give a fuck. You see what a great chorus, what great messages in there as well. Obviously he goes to the extremes with it. Obviously he may over exaggerate a little bit with it, but the message is there, the point is there. Just don't give a fuck. And the way he says it as well, you can try it for yourself. I don't want to do my chores, I just don't give a fuck. My teacher's always bagging on me, I just don't give a fuck. Obviously care about the things you should care about, you know, family, friends, being good to people that are good to you, always being good to animals. But the bad stuff, the crazy stuff, the crappy stuff, I just don't give a fuck. Try it. But I wouldn't recommend standing up in front of the whole class, sticking your 2 middle fingers up to the teacher and telling them you don't give a fuck. That might not be the best method. Pick and choose your timing, alright? Eminem's one of the only people that can probably get away with saying it to the entire world. To publishing it to the entire world. So let's start small, and then maybe we can build to Shady's level. But let's keep going with this.
give a fuck. But see me on the street and duck, cause you gon' get stuck, stoned and snuck. Cause I just don't give a fuck. I'm nicer than Pete, but I'm on a search to crush a milk bone. I'm everlasting. I melt vanilla ice like silicone. I'm ill enough to just straight up dish you for no reason. I'm cold in the snow season when it's 20 below freezing. Flavor with no seasoning. This is a sneak preview. I dish your magazine and still won't get a weak review. I make your freak leave you. Smell the Folgers crystals. This is lyrical combat. Gentlemen, hold your pistols. But I
Jesus. Do you see what I mean? The way he just switches the flow and switches the rhyme. Like every 2 lines, every 2 sentences at this point. It's like he finds a word, picks a word with a few syllables in, and then tries to continue to construct after that. More and more complex rhymes, leading it back, feeding it in, linking it back to the beginning. There's so many different ways and levels that he crosses over on this. Let's break it down. I'm nicer than Pete, but I'm on a search to crush a milk bone. I'm everlasting. I melt vanilla ice like a silicone. Even just the combination of words and names and phrases he puts together, like I wouldn't even think of it in a normal English conversation, let alone as part of a rap with multiple levels of rhyming involved. But then he does 2 lines like that. I'm everlasting. I melt vanilla ice like silicone. And then he switches it up. I'm ill enough just to straight dish you for no reason. I'm colder than snow when it's 20 below freezing. And then he'll link the last rhyme with the new rhyme, and then he'll change it and adapt it to a new rhyme after that, and then that's how he changes the flow. I'm colder than snow when it's 20 below freezing. Flavor with no seasoning. The rhyme's still there. Below freezing. Flavor with no seasoning. This is the sneak preview. And then this is where he changes it up. This is the sneak preview. I'll dish your magazine and still won't get a weak review. It's so good. Sneak preview. Weak review. Like it kind of sounds obvious now, but I don't know if I'd ever thought of that. I don't know if you would have ever thought of putting those ones together, or those specific syllable sounds together. The assonance and the different words and sounds that he comes up with, that he puts together, is crazy, man. See if we can listen to how many different syllables, how many different vowel sounds he uses, and how many different times he switches up the flow. Let's keep going.
I'm cold in the snow season when it's 20 below freezing. Flavor with no seasoning. This is a sneak preview. I dish your magazine and still won't get a weak review. I make your freak leave you. Smell the Folgers crystals. This is lyrical combat. Gentlemen, hold your pistols. But I form like Voltron and blast you with my soda missiles. Slim Shady. Eminem was the old initials. Extortion, snorting, supporting abortion. Pathological liar, blowing shit out of proportion. The looniest, zaniest, spontaneous, sporadic. Impulsive thinker, compulsive drinker, addict, half animal, half man. Dumping your dead body inside of a fucking trash can with more holes than an Afghan. So when you see...
Come on, man. Did you hear how many times it was there? I can't even do it justice, man. But I form like Voltron and blast you with my shoulder missiles. Slim Shady. Eminem was the old initials. Shoulder missiles, old initials. Come on, man. Don't tell me you're thinking of those lyrics. Don't tell me you're thinking of those words when you put them together. You're not. I know you're not. Because no normal person thinks of shoulder missiles and old initials. What? You should set yourself a challenge. Think of the most obscure words, obscure sounds, or rhyming sounds you can think of. See if you can put them together in a sentence. See if you can put them together in a rhyme in a sentence. Where you rhyme at the start and then rhyme at the end. Where you mix and match and then rhyme at the end. You change the flow, but you keep the rhyme going. And then you bring it back at the end. I can't even do that with no music. Alright, Shady. Thanks for reminding us that we are mere mortals in comparison to you. Thanks a lot, Shady. And the way he just effortlessly basically speaks all of this. It's just like he's talking, right? And then he just switches the flow, comes up with a new flow, comes up with a new thing he wants to say, throws all these crazy complex rhymes in, makes it sound sick. Slim Shady. Eminem was the old initials. I remember when we said he just picks a word. Extortion, snoring, supporting abortion, pathological liar, blowing shit out of proportion. Come, it just sounds so good, doesn't it? Like, we skip over the vowel sounds and how many times he does rhyme because he does it so often, and he does it so subtly. Sometimes we forget that that word's even rhymed with it, even though it has, and it actually adds more elements to it. And again, he finds some other words: looniest, zaniest, spontaneous, sporadic, impulsive thinker, compulsive drinker, addict. Even the way he tells that is just perfectly constructed, because he deliberately stops and slows down and then stops and then matches the flow again. The looniest, zaniest, spontaneous, sporadic, impulsive thinker, compulsive drinker, addict. Remember before when we said his punchlines just drop? The way he builds it up, builds it up, builds it up, drops. It always lands, and it's so good. This is only his first album. Tell me you're not as hype as I am. I'm sorry, I know people have a massive argument about who's top, who thinks they're top, about where, who's what, but this is his first album. I would have been happy if this was his only album. I would have been satisfied with all these songs. I would have been happy. He was giving us like 5, 6 more albums. Even if he had just given us this album, I'd have been like, great rapper, sick lyrics. This is his first album. This is him young, wacky, goofy, messing about, going a bit crazy with it. This is before he's even perfected his craft. Before he's even mastered his craft. Before. You know, I mean, we all know, but you can see the talent here. You can see the raw talent here. And it makes perfect sense why he blew up so much. Even with the controversial statements, controversial lyrics, look how popular it is. Because that is pure talent. The only time you get away with saying some crazy shit is when you have pure talent. So it just goes to show what you can do when you apply yourself. Obviously his was a more extreme case. It was this or nothing. But it shows you can get there. So keep pushing. Let's keep pushing with this song because it is so good.
Snorting, supporting abortion, pathological liar, blowing shit out of proportion. The looniest, zaniest, spontaneous, sporadic, impulsive thinker, compulsive drinker, addict, half animal, half man. Dumping your dead body inside of a fucking trash can with more holes than an Afghan. So when you see me on your block with 2 blocks, screaming fuck the world like Tupac, I just don't give a fuck. Talking that shit behind my back, dirty Mac, and telling your boys that I'm on crack, I just don't give a fuck. So put my tape back on the rack, go stuck, stolen, snuck. I just don't give a fuck. Somebody let me out this limousine. I'm a cage demon. On stage screaming like Rage Against the Machine. I'm convinced I'm a fiend. Shooting up while this record is spinning. Clinically brain dead. I don't need a second opinion. Fuck.
Come on, man. I know I keep stopping this. I apologize. I have to keep stopping this just to go over it. I want to just let it go so we can just hear it. But my goodness. He just talks and talks and talks. Throws out a 2, 3, 4, 5 syllable rhyme at the end. Talks, 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 talks. Sets you up with it. Drops the punchline. Sets you up with it. Drops some complex lyrics. I can listen to this track all day. It is so good. I'm pretty sure every single line in here is worth something, means something. Go back for yourself, listen for yourself. It's the only way you're going to appreciate this fully. Like I said, I'm so sorry I have to keep stopping this. But the rhymes he's using are insane. Somebody let me out this limousine. I'm a cage demon. On stage screaming. Like that's enough. Cage demon. Stage screaming. Like Rage Against the Machine. What else is there to say? I mean, find a word that he cannot rhyme. Between him and Harry Mack, Alphabet completed it, mate. Dictionary completed it, mate. Right, it's impressive enough alone when you can rhyme and make a good rap song. But when you're adding all these crazy complex words and different rhyming couplets, like he's deliberately making it harder for himself. Rage Against the Machine, Shoulder Missiles, Marty Schottenheimer. Come on. It's not normal. That's why we love it. That's why it's so good. Every single bar, every single lyric, every single rhyme in this is so good. Let's keep going.
My city's whack. I just don't give a fuck. But see me on the street and duck. Cause you finna get stuck, stolen, snuck. I just don't give a fuck. Somebody let me out this limousine. I'm a cage demon. On stage screaming like Rage Against the Machine. I'm convinced I'm a fiend. Shooting up while this record is spinning. Clinically brain dead. I don't need a second opinion. Fuck dropping a jewel. I'm flipping the sacred treasure. I bite your motherfucking style just to make it pressure. I can't take the pressure. I'm sick of bitches. Sick of nagging bosses bitching while I'm washing dishes. In school I never said much. Too busy having a head rush. Doing too much rush. Had my face flushed like red blush. Then I went to Jim Beam. That's when my face sprayed. Went to gym in 8th grade. The women's swim team. Don't take me for a joke. I'm no comedian. Too many mental problems got me snorting coke and smoking weed again. I'm going up over the curb. Driving on the median. Finally made it home but I don't got the key to get in.
Oh man. You see, just when you don't think it could get any more controversial, it gets a little bit more controversial. Then you start wondering, can I even repeat this, let alone react to it? Come on, Shady, stop making our lives hard here. The rhymes are fantastic. There are some bits of content you probably could do without. You probably don't need it in. You probably don't need to rhyme that word. However, it's part of the craft, so we've got to appreciate it, we've got to break it down either way. So in school, I never said much. Too busy having a head rush. Doing too much rush. Had my face flushed like a red blush. Even if you just talk this through, it sounds good. And then Shady puts on his little voice, his little wacky voice, his little sarcastic voice. I just don't give a fuck. Again, the rhymes and then the placement of the words. Don't take me for a joke, I'm no comedian. Right, that's an obvious one. Many mental problems got me snorting coke, smoking weed again. Comedian, weed again. I'm going up over the curb, driving on the median. Finally made it home, but I don't got the key to get in. I wonder if he thinks of the rhymes and the words put together first, and then he has to construct the bits in the middle. Or if he has lines thought out already, sentences thought out already, maybe even stories thought out already. And then he comes back and he changes it into rhymes. Does he just do it from scratch and you can just make it perfect the whole way through? I would love to see his process in some of these songs. I would just love to see the trial and error. I would love to see the bars that don't make it. Because apparently when he constructs some of his songs, he does like 4, 5, 6 different versions of it. You know, and I can understand that. Different intonations, different expressions, different ways of saying it. But every track he seems to put out, perfection. Like you couldn't imagine it any other way, but I bet he has it 5, 6, 7 other ways. I wonder what he thinks. I wonder if he actually sits there and goes, you know what? That's not a bad track. He has to sit there with some of these and go, not bad, Shady. Not bad at all. Or do you think he's never satisfied with any of them? I don't know. I'm happy for him. But this is only the first album. And look how much he already constructs complicated lyrics and puts different flows and changes it up. Changes the speed, changes the tempo, drops. Changes the pitch, changes the intonation, drops. Gets the joke, builds it up, drops. It's so good. Let's keep going. Let's pull it back for the chorus.
A joke, I'm no comedian. Too many mental problems got me snorting coke and smoking weed again. I'm going up over the curb, driving on the median. Finally made it home, but I don't got the key to get in. So when you see me on your block with 2 Glocks screaming fuck the world like Tupac, I just don't give a fuck. Talking that shit behind my back, dirty Mac and telling your boys that I'm on crack. I just don't give a fuck. So put my tape back on the rack. Go run and tell your friends my shit is whack. I just don't give a fuck. But see me on the street and duck. Cause you finna get stuck, stolen, snuck. I just don't give a fuck. Shit, fuck every outsiders. Pace 1. Young Z.
I don't know if I've ever heard that bit. Right at the end, he just goes, fuck the entire world. I don't think there's anyone that does it quite like Shady. You know, he can't just sit there and slate an entire nation. He can't just sit there and slate an entire fan base, have a go at you talking about his mother in this way, and still have all of these fans behind him. It must be because the music is so good. Because he's a bit of a controversial character. What an absolute banger of a track. I can see now why it's some people's favourites. I'll tell you what, shout out Nicole, we know it's your favourite. I hope you're still watching this, but I don't give a fuck if you're not. Just kidding, dead ass, don't give a fuck 100. Shout out Nicole for this song. I think some people forget about this because obviously it's such an early album. It's so early on in comparison to all the other tracks he makes. But definitely don't sleep on this one. The beat, the flow, the way he just changes his accent, you know, wacky. He changes the pitch, he changes the intonation. He goes fast, he goes slow. He does 2 lines and switches it up, another 2 lines. Then switches the flow, another 2 lines. And then different rhymes. How the hell do we keep up? It's so good. Go back, listen to the entire song from the start to the finish. Listen to the beat, listen to the lyrics, listen to how crazy he is, but listen to those rhyming places together, different sounds. Listen to where they all are. I hope you like the track as much as I do. So shout out Dre for the beat and the album. Shout out M for the track and the lyrics. And shout out you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your reaction. Let me know what you want me to react to next. And if you didn't like it, well, then I just don't give a fuck. I'm just playing fan base. You know I love you. This has been One Take Productions. I am One Take Tom. I'll see you on the next one.
I just don't give a fuck.